Jenna, I'm going to say yes. All right? Look, most people are focusing on, from that clip, Baker saying both sides have moved on. Mutually, we wanted to move on. I'm focusing on him saying, when he's asked, could you play there next year, he says, well, for that to happen, there would have to be some reaching out. Baker, understandably, doesn't think the Browns want him. Oh, and they don't if they have Deshaun Watson. Let's just keep it real. But if they don't have Deshaun Watson, then they should want him. If they reach out, I think it could get done because for a few reasons. One, Baker Mayfield has to show up to training camp or he's going to be fined heavily, okay? And he wants his $19 million for next season, unless they excuse him. So if they expect him there, want him to be there, he needs to get there for his money. Two, this is best for Baker. Not just the Browns, who have Jacoby Brissett and Joshua Dobbs if they can't play Baker and Watson's out, but it's best for Baker. Why go to Carolina or Seattle, two bad to mediocre teams, and struggle? All right, even if you play okay, the team's not going to win a ton of games. Or stay in Cleveland where you have a playoff caliber roster. You know the offense. You know the head coach. If you play in Cleveland and you lead them to the playoffs, which is very possible, then your stock is going to skyrocket and you will once again be viewed as a franchise quarterback. So I do think, and also, Nick, here's the thing before you go. It also would show a change in his attitude. Jenna just complimented him. Man, he handled that well. Teams around the league would say, you know what? He humbled himself. He handled himself well and with maturity in Cleveland by going back. I think it would be a win for Baker to go back, Nick.
Well, I don't know how much more Baker has to humble himself, to be honest. I don't know what in this process Baker has done wrong. Baker played through injury. Baker handled the Odell stuff as nicely as one could, didn't torch anybody, didn't lash out to anybody. And then Baker suffered the indignity of his team moving heaven and earth to trade for a player who, it's on the board, never plays in the NFL again. And so I think Baker's handled this quite well. I think the Browns are in the midst of what could go down, Wildes, as the single most damaging trade in NFL history, trading all those picks and giving that massive guaranteed contract to a guy who I think, best case scenario at this point, misses the next 10 games, likely misses the entirety of the next season, and it could be longer than that. So if I were the Browns, I would go to Baker Mayfield and try to make amends, and I would do it like this. I'd say, Baker, here's the deal. You don't like us. We understand. We'd like to tell you we like you, but our actions speak otherwise. However, we have the same goal in mind here. We want to win as many games as possible this year. You want to get a long-term contract from somebody. The way for us both to achieve those goals is for you to play for us. And if Deshaun gets his suspension to where it's 8 games like he's hoping for, guess what? That's right around the trade deadline. You play well, we'll ship you somewhere. If it's the whole year, you have a whole year to prove yourself to the league. And we know you don't like how we've handled this.
On a good
so
team.
Here is what we will give you. We will amend, exactly, Jenna, we will amend your contract this way. We'll put in a clause that says we cannot franchise tag you after this year. We don't plan to even want to, but I'm sure that's a concern of yours. That if Deshaun is banned indefinitely, that we, who have shown no belief in you, if you play well for us, would just franchise tag you. We will add that as an olive branch, if you will, for you to come, because this is the only way both of us are going to get what we want here. I think Baker would be amenable to that. I think that is the best course of action for the Browns. I think it's the best course of action for Baker. And I think that's what they need to do if they want to start undoing what could be a disastrous decision to pursue Deshaun Watson the way they have.
Okay, so let's stay here. I'll play it out. I'll be Baker. And what happens if I do this and on the first play from scrimmage, my knee gets blown up? Then what happens? And I'm on the field for a team that doesn't want me, where I don't want to be because it's good for my future. What happens then, rather than me sitting out and trying to get a better contract somewhere else? Just
well, Baker, listen. If you think, I don't know if you just saw. I don't know how much you follow the NBA, but if you saw what just happened with Kyrie Irving, if you think there is a team out there that wants to trade for you and give you a long-term contract, we would love for you to find that. We have been looking for that. We have not been able to find that. The injury risk is there wherever you play. It would appear no matter what, whomever you play for this year, it's going to be on a one-year contract for $18 million. We appear to be your best option. That's how I would respond if I were the Browns. And if Baker says, well, screw you, you should have never gotten Deshaun, I'd be like, yeah, Nick Wright told us not to. We should have listened to him. Then it's a whole, now we're in like three-dimensional who's who in this role-playing game. But you follow me.
No, I get it. Look, I get it. I would not. If I was Baker Broussard, I would not do it. I would just stand. I would stand on. No, I would just stand on the principle. Say, you know what? I went out there last year with multiple injuries and didn't play my best, and then you just cut me loose. I'm not. I've already given my heart and soul to this team, and I wasn't treated right. And I do not believe. If I'm Baker, I do not believe. Although it seems like we're supposed to have mutual goals, that you have my best interests at heart. Now, I don't know how that manifests.
Okay.
Whether it's a set of play calls or whatever, but I'm like, you know what? Let's tear the Band-Aid off. This isn't a Trey Lance, Jimmy G situation where you publicly support me and you bring in the next Allen. That's not what it is. I'm ready to move on. And here's the final thing, Brew.
But wow.
Baker, remember when he did that couch conversation with Mike Stud, and there was a dog. Yeah. There was a dog on the couch.
The dog.
And one of the things he said was like, "Hey, I've had 4 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators. I've never had real continuity." I think Baker needs to twist that. I think Baker needs to use that as his strength and say, you know what? This should be out there to other teams. I've had 4 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators. I am the most fluid guy, picking new stuff up. It's been my whole career. I'm ready to come in right now. And I know we've seen other quarterbacks go to teams and haven't been able to pick it up as fast. Not me, because I've been trained for this. I'm built for this because I've had so many offensive coordinators. I've had so many sort of pivots along my career path.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.